Hello and welcome to the Traybakes and More Cooking channel. I'm Callie and today I've got another classic flavour combination in a tray bake for you. So these are chocolate peppermint squares, chocolate and mint, really classic combination. So what we have here is a crunchy crumbly base. There's coconut and cocoa in there, and then there's a nice minty bright green buttercream layer. Obviously you can leave out the green if you want it. It's not essential to the tray bake to have the green food colouring in there, but you know, make it as lurid a green as you like. And then it's just topped with chocolate, simple as that. It's crunchy, it's crumbly, it's sweet, it's minty, it's delicious. Chocolate peppermint squares. Let's get baking. Okay, as usual, before we talk ingredients, we do a little bit of preparation. So we are preheating our oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 190 degrees centigrade in a conventional oven. So adjust your temperature if you have a fan-assisted oven, and have your tray bake tin ready. My little 8-inch square, 20-centimeter square tin is sitting off to one side, lined with a little bit of baking parchment. Then we have all the ingredients for the base for these chocolate peppermint squares sitting right in front of me. It is a very simple mix of butter and sugar. I'm going to cream these together with my little hand whisk until it's nice and light and fluffy, and then just mix through some desiccated coconut, some plain flour and some baking powder, and some cocoa powder. Simple as that. Spread it over the base of the tin and then into the oven. Okay, so I've just scraped down my bowl with my spatula here just to make sure I've got all of the bits of butter and all the bits of sugar. I'm going to go in one more time with my hand whisk. Also forgot to say, soften your butter, take it out of the fridge, you know, half an hour or so before, or an hour before you want to start baking. So it's nice and soft. This makes this stage so much easier. All right, so there we have it with the softened butter and the sugar have been creamed until they're nice and light and fluffy. I'm just going to sieve now my flour and my cocoa powder into this, because I always find cocoa powder sometimes has little lumps in it, and it's always better to sieve that and make sure you don't get any lumps in your mix. So I'm just going to sieve these together. It also mixes up the baking powder a bit more than coconut, and mix everything together. See, there you go. I don't know if you can see those. My camera's going to focus properly, but lumps of cocoa powder. So just push those through so you're getting it all. Right, this is all coming together nicely. If you were to pick this up in your hand or squish it with your spatula, you see that it's packing together nicely as well. You can also get in there with your little hand mixer if it's not coming together so quickly when you're mixing it with a spatula. All I'm going to do now is tip this into the base of my tray bake tin and flatten it out nicely. Right, so just spread it over the base of the tin, nice even layer. Now it's going to go in my preheated oven. Right, after about 15 minutes in the oven, it'll puff up a little bit. It'll be smelling really nice actually. And you'll see it's sort of firming up a little bit, has puffed up. It's gone a bit wrinkly in places, but we're covering that with buttercream and chocolate, so that doesn't matter too much. So now we just need to cool this a bit, because we're going to put a minty buttercream layer on top and then some chocolate on top of that, and you don't want to do that while it's still hot. So set it to one side. We'll get on with the buttercream layer, and then when this is cool, we can spread that over the top. But the base of these chocolate peppermint squares is done. So while the base is cooling, I'm going to get on with the buttercream layer. I've put everything in here all at once. I'm going to see how this goes, mixing it all together. So it is simply icing sugar. Sieve your icing sugar, just like with the cocoa powder. Icing sugar gets a few lumps in it sometimes, so that just makes things easier. Softened butter again, just like we had in the base. And then a couple of drops of peppermint extract and a few drops of green food colouring. We'll see what it looks like. I've just sort of squirted in a couple of drops of food colouring. This may go really, really lurid green. It may go a mild green. You can always adjust that as necessary, and like really green, doesn't matter too much. So back in with a little hand whisk, mix this up until everything's nice and creamy and spreadable. And then when the base is cooled, we'll spread this layer over the top. Oh, and start slowly, otherwise you'll get a cloud of icing sugar everywhere. Now this is one of these things, for a little while it's just going to look like sort of sand and breadcrumbs, and then it'll start clumping together and it'll finally start to come together. So just stick with it, you'll get there. And so it turns out that my few drops and my guess of my few drops of green food colouring has turned it quite a bright mint green, but that's good. That's going to work. Anyway, just need to get it to this, get it all nice and a spreadable consistency. If you think your mixture is still a little bit stiff and you want to just put a few drops of milk or something in there and beat that through just to make it a little bit more easy to spread. But you know, you don't want this too thin because you want it to be nice and firm. As you bite into this and you've got chocolate and you've got the buttery creamy layer and the base, then you know you don't want everything to splurge out. Splurge? Yeah, splurge out as you bite into it. So we're just going to spread this over the cooled base and then top it with melted chocolate. Right, so here we go. I've just melted some chocolate. You can either do it in the microwave or put it in a bowl and set it on top of a saucepan with a little bit of simmering water in the bottom of it, whichever you prefer. If you're doing the microwave, short bursts, stir it fairly frequently because it will look like it hasn't melted. Suddenly you'll stir it and you'll see it starting to melt. Anyway, that's an aside. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whichever you prefer, you put on top of your tray bake because you're the one eating it. I've got milk chocolate on mine because that's what I prefer. And this is it. Very simple, another straightforward one. Chocolate peppermint squares. And all I'm going to do is put this in the fridge now to let everything firm up nicely, let the chocolate set, then slice it up into squares. Another easy, super simple, delicious tray bake. So keep an eye out for more recipes, subscribe to my channel, tell your family and friends, and I'll see you again soon on Tray Bakes and More.